The Celestarium chronicles the endless song of light and time. Far, far beyond the reach of Earth's skies, where the thin veil of atmosphere gives way to endless black, there floats a place known only in whispers, the Celestarium. It was not marked on any star map. No spacecraft had ever visited it. Yet it had existed for longer than anyone could remember, gliding silently between the planets, sometimes drifting close to Saturn's shimmering rings, other times hiding just beyond the bright heart of a distant nebula. The Celestarium was not built by hands. It had grown slowly over centuries, formed from the soft collision of comet dust, frozen starlight, and the gentle pulse of invisible cosmic waves. It was a sanctuary of knowledge, a library of light, and a home for those who listened to the secrets of the universe. In the very center of the Celestarium, floating in a round chamber with walls made of swirling silver mist, lived a young scientist named Lyra. Lyra was no ordinary scientist. She was a listener born with ears not just for sound, but for the delicate music of the cosmos itself. Her room was a soft sphere with no corners or edges, only gentle cushions of light and air. Her notebooks, filled with sketches of galaxies and scribbled melodies of distant pulsars, floated around her like glowing fish in a slow current. There was no up or down in the Celestarium, just endless space, gentle drifting, and the constant, comforting presence of the stars. Lyra's work began each evening when Earth was turning toward night. With a soft push from her fingertips, she drifted to the listening chamber, a vast window of liquid crystal that opened out into the velvet black of space. Here she placed her special headphones, not made from plastic or metal, but from woven strands of magnetic fields, gently harvested from the rings of ancient stars. As she floated there, the silence became something more. It was never truly silent in space, not if you knew how to listen. There were the deep, slow pulses of dying stars, their light flickering gently as they breathed their final breaths after billions of years. There were the twinkling giggles of baby stars, just forming in the cradles of warm nebulae, their tiny nuclear hearts still learning how to shine. There was the steady whisper of dark matter currents, invisible rivers flowing between galaxies, carrying secrets even light could not see. And somewhere beyond all of that there was the song of time itself. A low ancient hum that echoed through every atom, a song so old and so vast, no single being could ever understand all of it. Lyra floated there, eyes half closed, letting the melodies of the universe wrap around her like a soft, glowing blanket. She had been listening for as long as she could remember. Every sound, every tone, she carefully recorded in her floating notebooks, so that no whisper of the cosmos would ever be forgotten. But tonight something was different. Far beyond the usual symphony, past the soft waves of ancient stars and the rustling hum of galactic winds, she heard something new. A single note. It was soft, so soft that at first, she thought it was her own heartbeat. But no, it was coming from far beyond the edges of the known universe, from a place where even light hadn't reached. It was a pulse slow and steady, like the breathing of something enormous and ancient, sleeping just beyond the horizon of time. Lyra adjusted her headphones, floating closer to the window, her breath quiet, her heart steady. The note grew clearer, richer, layered with faint harmonies. Tiny voices singing along with the deep, ancient pulse. She recognized the sound, though she had never heard it so clearly before. It was the heartbeat of a forming galaxy, a spiral of stars and dust slowly waking, its gravity pulling gas clouds into spiraling arms, its core flickering with the light of 1,000 newborn suns. Galaxies didn't form quickly. They were like gardens, slow, patient, growing over billions of years. And yet here was the sound of one being born, its voice traveling across light years, whispering its first lullaby into the universe. Lyra recorded the melody, tracing each pulse into her notebook with a pen made from comet ice. She knew this song would join the others, the lullabies of dying stars, the laughter of comets skipping across gravitational tides, the quiet sighs of lonely planets orbiting cold suns. As she listened, she imagined all the other listeners across the universe, on distant worlds, under skies unfamiliar to Earth. Were they hearing this same song? Were there other children just like her, lying in soft beds beneath strange constellations, listening to the distant hum of this newborn galaxy? Perhaps, she thought, every sleeping child on Earth or elsewhere could feel it, even if they didn't know they could hear. The soft pulse beneath their dreams, the gentle hum in the silence between breaths. It was all part of the same endless lullaby. Lyra closed her notebook, but the melody lingered in her ears, a promise that the universe was still singing, still growing, still alive. As she floated back to her sleeping pod, wrapping herself in her blanket of starlight threads, the soft hum of the newborn galaxy followed her into her dreams. And somewhere, far beyond the Celestarium, on a small blue planet spinning quietly around a warm yellow sun, a child stirred in their sleep, and without knowing why, they smiled. Because even though they couldn't hear it the way Lyra could, the universe was singing to them too. And it would never stop. Good night, little dreamer. The stars are singing you to sleep. The galaxies are breathing in time with your heart. And the universe, vast and beautiful, is holding you gently in its arms.